Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Retro and Rare podcast episode for a Motivated Monday. What do you think, Doyle? Am I motivated?
Yeah,
I'm pretty motivated right now.
it's a new you.
I don't know if it's a new me. I'm motivated. Well, yeah, maybe it is a new me. I don't know. Well, coming off last week's fucking emotional podcast, I certainly didn't want to leave the people hanging because we left the people hanging there. I went to Connecticut. We're going to get into the Connecticut trip / New York trip here in a second. But it is a Motivated Monday. And yeah, last week, or it wasn't even last week. We did a show like 2 weeks ago now, right? It was like 12, 15. Yeah. I don't even remember. I'm caught in the matrix for sure. But yeah, last time we met on the old show here, it was a little sketchy, to say the least. And I had a lot of people reach out to me, and I realized, I'm like, did I divulge too much information about my personal life on the podcast? Or, you were here for the ride. You didn't give a fuck. You're like, yeah, let's do it. I don't know. And I'm only half kidding. I don't think I went too ham about it. And I appreciate the people riding for me, though. People hit me up DMs. People hit me up in the comments. And people are supportive. There wasn't really anyone that was being a complete asshole that normally is. But yeah, I mean, I'm good actually, and as far as that topic goes, just briefly, me and the girl are kind of good. I'll just leave it there. We're kind of good, and things are gonna be what they're gonna be, and life is gonna do what it's gonna do. But yeah, we'll leave that alone because we are not here for that. We're here on a Motivated Monday. I don't know. The trinkets are okay today. We kind of had a issue about trying to change up the trinkets and get some more, things in here that I really want to fucking have now. I always like the Spidey. I know we've used it before. Matter of fact, I think we've used all of these trinkets at one point or another. You did recommend the wolf, Doyle. I appreciate that. I like my wolves. I'm in wolf mode right now, which it makes sense. So I do appreciate that. That was a great contribution to the show. And, of course, my boy John Connor, it's like my spirit animal, even though I guess a wolf would be my spirit animal. John Connor, though, is my homie, and we got the NECA figure. Why not bring him out? Fairly rare figure, and then the hand-painted artist proof of the Spidey whatever that I took from an old lady at a Goodwill. We talked about that, I don't know, a few times on the podcast that the old lady took the L on that. You're not going to grab that faster than me, and I might have kind of sort of yanked it out of her hand in the bin.
You strong-armed her? Yeah,
but I had to. What was I going to do? And yeah, you're here, Doyle, looking fresh today. You get your Link beanie on, and you get those goddamn Son of Mars Jordans. I bring them up every time you wear them. I sold them to you 8 years ago.
So far, it's making a good run.
I mean, yeah, they're starting to yellow on the bottom. I see that you're wearing baggier jeans with the tongues tucked into the front.
It's not the way to do it? Or?
I don't. You know what, Doyle? The people, what's so funny? The people criticize me when I criticize your fashion because they say but how could I criticize you when I dress like a 12-year-old? Okay.
What do you have on now, though?
Maybe I'm not the fashionista here. Debo? This is not Debo. Actually, matter of fact, this is a damn it, what's the name of those dudes, man? The vintage page. Damn it, I forgot. All American Vintage, I believe. See, the back of it's got the old what they do is they take like old bed sheets from the 80s and the 90s of popular cartoons. Like this one is Ninja Turtles. So on the back of this is the Ninja Turtle like bed sheet, but it's cut out in a square and it's made as a patch to go on the back of this vintage, flannel, which fits me phenomenally.
Oh, you have the Pikachu.
Right, I got you. Yes, I did. I got you the Pikachu one. They have a bunch of them and they do a really good job.
And this festivities, right?
Yeah, that's where I got it, down on the good old Lake Eola in downtown Orlando. They have I don't know, every Saturday or Sunday, or maybe every other Saturday or Sunday, they have like a flea market and stuff down there. And that's where I kind of hooked up with them. And I was like, yo, you guys do a great job. I bought a bunch of shirts. I actually gave them more money than what the shirts like they were asking, just because I wanted to like support a local thing and I like the vintage thing. So they're definitely cool people. And yeah, so what do you mean, what am I wearing? And then I'm wearing an old shirt about a guy. What does it say on here again? I forget. Something about if your pistol still works or something. I don't know. It's like a sideways, like kind of a dick joke situation, but it's funny. If you can cock your pistols and they still work, life is good, or you know whatever. I'm down for that, and I like the shirt.
Single stitch?
I don't know if it's single stitch. I don't think it. I think it's an Onita shirt tag. So yeah, which I used to call Oneonta, which is upstate New York, which I've been to upstate. And speaking of, I guess we'll get right into it. Give me the weather first, Doyle, here in downtown Orlando, and then I'll get into my Connecticut trip for the people because they care.
All right, so we got downtown Orlando, 58, Real Field 57, tonight 55.
Okay, so we're still. I mean, look, it's
current air quality excellent.
It did feel crisp out there today. Nice deep breath. It felt good today. Now, when I woke up this morning, it was misty. It was almost Silent Hill-esque outside here. The buildings. There was kind of a fog going on here. I kind of like when the mornings are like that.
Dustin Dander Low.
Yeah, which once again, Dustin Dander still think it's a porn star name, and yeah, but you're talking about Dust and Dander. Got it. But Dustin Dander, I like that name. That would be my porn star name if I was a porn star.
You can do that with your girlfriend. Roleplay fantasies.
What? Now, do I have a girlfriend right now, Doyle? What are we talking about here? Be careful with your usage and don't give me advice on my sex life, please. Keep that to yourself. And don't tell me about roleplay fantasies because God knows what's in between the ears of you and what you think about.
Well, now you can do swingers parties since it's not that serious.
Doyle, I'm not doing swingers parties. Nor would I ever. Dude, I don't know how people do that. I don't understand it. The only way I'll excuse it is if you're a married couple and you've been married for like 30 years and you're in your golden years and you're just saying fuck it about life. But actually, who am I to judge anybody on their sexual stuff that they want to do? So let me take that back. You guys do whatever the fuck you want as long as you don't hurt me. And thank you, Doyle, for your advice today. I think we're going to skip that subject. Let me get into my Connecticut trip here, which I've been back a week. I got to be honest right now. I'm in this weird time warp where time's going real fucking slow. But it feels like light years have passed. Like I've been home a week. Today's Monday. I've been home a week yesterday from Connecticut. I feel like that was 10 years ago that happened. So things are, I don't know, I'm a little bit off there. It's because I've kind of restructured things and I'm moving in a different way. So it does have something to do with that. Anyway, I took an early flight. Now, I guess we'll just start. So I woke up, my flight to Connecticut from Orlando to Providence, Rhode Island. I left here at 4 a.m., got picked up by good old Uber Black. This is my first time ever using an Uber, by the way. I don't know if people ever knew that. I've never used Uber before. Of course, I booked Black because I have to be a tough guy and get the nice car. And I'm going to be honest. It cost me $77 to go from here to the airport, which is how many miles, Doyle, is it from here to Orlando Airport? Not far. Like 10 miles, if that. I don't even know. I took it. I said, all right, fuck it. I'll get a ride home from the airport. So I said, instead of me leaving my car at the airport all week and it me costing like $120, I justified it in a weird way. Anyway, some lady picks me up, in a Lincoln like MKZ like SUV. And I'm like, for $77 I can't get a German car. I can't get something nice. Like, and my brain is in such a stupid place for like, who cares, bro? I could have took a Corolla, just dropped me off at the fucking airport. It's 4 a.m, by the way. And I'm not going to lie. I left in a little bit of wasn't in the greatest state of mind when I left as far as just like the girlfriend thing and stuff like that. That's kind of why I was going anyway, to clear my mind. I was going to my cousin's house, which he is gracious enough to house me, him and his girl for a week at their wonderful home there in Rhode Island. So anyway, I get to the airport and I'm like, all right, let me get some Starbucks and shit like that. And also, I don't fly often. I mean, I'm not a world traveler. I've certainly done more road trips and longer distances than I've done flying. I've probably flown maybe 8 to 10 times my whole life. And so like even at the airport, and like Orlando's a big ass airport. I mean, that international airport's no joke. I mean, there's a lot of moving parts there. So it was cool. I didn't have to take off all my stupid jewelry. I thought I would have to like redo all my jewelry and my fucking, when you get on the thing, they're like, no, just take your fucking shoes off, go do the thing. And these are normal things that people know. I'm just saying I don't travel often. So I got some Starbucks coffee. I'm chilling. Had about an hour to wait to get on the plane. So like, I hate this idea. You got to get to the airport that early and then just wait. It's like, I get it for the security check, but the security check doesn't take that long, and I'm already on my boarding pass thing, and I don't really understand. So I get my little Starbucks, and I noticed that I'm going to tell you, I made a rookie mistake, a rookie traveler mistake. I go out of my way. You know me, I'm very organized. Very organized. I lay out everything everywhere the night before, all of my shit that I need with me, like the phone charger, all that. I forgot my phone charger. I took, because it was 4 a.m, I got 2 hours of sleep. I took my phone with me, and then the phone charger I left plugged in. So now I'm at the airport, and I go, and my cousin, him and his girl, they got Android phones. Or I think his girl might have an iPhone, I forget. But I know my cousin has a fucking Android, which I don't know why you do. You have both because you have a weird, illegal Mexican drug phone. But I knew my cousin wasn't going to have one at his house. So I'm like, all right, I got to buy one. I'm at the airport. I paid like $70 for an iPhone charger. Yeah. But I noticed at the airport electronics store, they had all arcade 1-up stuff there. They had like even the bigger tabletop arcade 1-up. They had the Mortal Kombat. I took a picture and put it on my story at that point. It just struck me as odd that somebody would be in the airport and buy like a tabletop arcade. It was $250. I was thinking, should I take this on the plane with me and just give it to my cousin as a trip, as like a gift when I get there? And they had a bunch of other arcade 1-up like mini stuff that I never saw before. I was kind of taken back by that. That was like my first time really having Starbucks coffee. You know me, I'm not a coffee drinker. I do my iced coffee from Dunkin' Donuts, and it's a battle with me that I got this really random good like oatmeal fucking cappuccino mocha something or other. It was phenomenal. I had it on the entire flight there, and the flight there was awesome. The flight there were 14 people on my plane. They couldn't believe it. They had to they were reiterating. They're like, listen, I heard them talking to themselves, like the flight people before they let you board. They were like, there's only 14 people. Like, they're like, this is, because there's a 188 passenger plane. And there was 4, and I'm like, dude, what are they going to do? They're going to cancel the flight? Like, it's not worth it for them fuel wise. Like, I started running scenarios, and I'm like, this can't happen right now. It's 5:08 a.m. I need to get on this plane. I got to get to Rhode Island. And they basically told us to line up. And I'm like, I did my pre-board shit like first more than anybody. I was like A1 fucking. And then I paid for business. See, this is what a rookie loser I am. I paid for business. I'm on fucking Southwest. I paid like $300 to fucking fly to Rhode Island. That should have cost me $100. I thought I was getting like first class. Business class just means, all right, I get on the fucking plane. They make sure to tell us, listen, everybody gets their own row. There was nobody within 3 rows in front of me, 3 rows in back of me. And I was like, this is amazing. And as I'm getting on the plane, I go, wait, as I'm looking down the aisles, I go, wait, there's no first class. Why did I pay? And I asked the lady, I go, ma'am, your boy got business class. What does that mean? She goes, oh, that just gives you the ability to cancel your flight. I said, excuse me? She goes, yeah. I go, well, but okay, so there's no extra, like I don't get like a big seat or like, first class. Like where's my pod? Like, give me the ill shit. Like what? And she's like, no, we don't, we're fucking Southwest, bro. Like we don't offer. So just like, all right, I'll take my L. I sit on I get my window seat, nobody near me. The cool shit was I got to watch the sunrise while we were in the air. So we were flying high and the sun was coming up and the cloud, we were above the clouds perfectly.
You got to see the flat earth?
Bro, okay, Doyle, let's not.
Did you see the curve or not?
I did not see the curve of the earth. You know why? Because I wasn't high enough up to see the fucking curve. If I was in space, I would see the curve, Doyle. Or if I was in an SR-71 Blackbird, I would see the curve. Because it could fly 120,000 feet in the air. Not whatever we were flying at, 40,000 or whatever.
We need to do the Jeff Bezos trip.
What do you mean, fly to the space or whatever he does?
Yeah.
He does
What's his name?
Who?
No. The guy who did Star Trek, what's his name?
Oh, William Shatner? Did he go? Yeah, I mean, if anyone deserves to go to space, William Shatner. But no, Doyle, answer your question, because I know you're a flat earth guy. will you at least do it to raise my blood pressure? There was no there was no curve. I did not see it, but I saw a wonderful sunrise. I mean, it was intense, man. And I had a really good introspective kind of, self-reflecting. That's why I put my little post up on there. I had a really good flight, like a really good time to sit and think. It was quiet. There was nobody around me. And, also, I just want to reiterate, I'm flying to Rhode Island in the end of January. So, like, we're talking about, it's going to be cold as fuck. Like, I haven't been up north in years, bro. Like, even my family, I was talking to someone, they're like, yo, have you left Florida since you moved down here? Like, when did I move down here, Doyle? Like 2007? Like, I don't think, I think I went to a couple of places. I've been to Texas, and I do believe I've been back to New York once since then. But honestly, if I can't even remember it, it hasn't happened often. And, so anyway, I got my LL Bean fucking coat on. Like, I'm ready to go, bro. Like, thank God that I had the vintage LL Bean that I took from a thrift because it was $6 and this thing is fly and it fits me perfectly. Otherwise, I would have had to bring like a chalk line jacket, and I love chalk line, and they sent me a million jackets over the years, but I don't know how well they'll fare in Rhode Island end of January temperatures. So,
yeah, it was snowing, right?
Well, yeah, we're gonna get to that. So, I take my flight. It's a good flight. I get off the flight. My cousin's there. He picks me up. It was great to see him. I appreciate him picking me up at the airport. And he proceeds to tell me, like, it was cold too when I got there. Like, I felt it. I was like, especially when you get off the plane and you're that in between little thing, and it's like you could feel the outside. I was like, oh, like it was a familiar feeling. Like, oh yeah, that's what cold is. Like, I'm bitching about 50 degrees here, and it was like 26 degrees when I landed. And it was funny. We were flying over, and I just see like frozen lakes and shit. I'm like, oh fuck, what am I doing? So my cousin picks me up. He proceeds to tell me that the temperature is going to drop down to 5 degrees that night. And, I'm like, fuck, man. But whatever. Like, you know what? Realistically, it's just like Florida being 100 degrees in the summer. It's not like you're outside doing manual labor. Like, everywhere you go is fucking air conditioned, just like everywhere you go up north has heat. Like, it's not like we're going trekking in the woods for fucking 4 days. And so my cousin brings me to, his house, and his house is super nice. It's a dope spot, and he invests in real estate, and he's got this Airbnb thing going on. So he was going to take me to a new property that he just bought, that he was in the middle of selling the house he was in there. And then the new property had 2 houses on it. So he was going to Airbnb the one house to pay the mortgage on the other house. And then, he's got a lot of great strategies and things, a lot of things that I learned, which is also why I went there to soak up knowledge. And so I get to his house and we're chilling, and I unpack all my stuff. And my cousin's like, with the weed stuff, he's got the weed dungeon, he called it. I posted that too. It was funny. He has this dope ass coffee table, right? And it just looks like a nice big coffee table. And then you could lift the top of the coffee table up, and it's hinged, and it just goes like, and it moves back, and there's a giant storage space underneath, which he has loaded with like every kind of weed, whatever you would ever need. For anything from rolling papers to the weed itself to the craziest grinders to like every accessory ever. And then he has like the Keef catcher. And his name's Keith. I told him he should start a business called Keith's Keef. Yeah, we were going back and forth on that. It was funny. And, the bottom line, dude, is I was just there to kind of fucking chill out, just take my mind off the shit that I had going on, and is exactly what I wanted. And I had a good week. We went to Foxwood Casino, which is super giant casino, like crazy. Like I've never been to Foxwoods before. We go to the Hard Rock over here in Tampa, but Foxwood, you could fit the Hard Rock inside Foxwoods, and then there's still a giant portion left, like it's like a city. And I believe it's the largest casino in North America, if I'm not mistaken. I took some pictures, and when we went to the casino, of the all the arcade machines, and everyone was hating on me. They're like, yeah, but those aren't the original. They took out the CRT. I'm like, guys, I know. I'm just showing you they have like NBA Jam. It was pretty cool. And
they were trying to call them out.
Yeah, they were like saying like how they're not like I'm like, all right, guy, what do you want me to do? You want me to go talk to the manager for you and let them know, hey guys, this is not the real Turtles in Time cab. Like, but it wasn't like an arcade 1-up either. It was like legit.
So what were they bitching about?
People were just like trying to DM me and criticize the fact that the pictures I was taking weren't of original arcade cabinets. Like, You think you're trying to hurt my feelings, bro? Like, I don't even understand what the point of that is. Bro, listen, you know the kind of people that follow me, they're haters. They love me, though. You love me. I know you love me deep down inside. It's like everybody else in my life that tries to act like you fucking love me. You just like to play stupid sometimes. And that's okay. I'm here. Mikey's always here. It's fine. There's no big deal. So, we played at the casino. I won a couple $100 and it was cool. And I got out of there clean, no craziness. And
you won money?
Yeah, I won a few $100. It was good. I played blackjack and we played roulette, like that weird table where you sit at and it's digital, and then the dealers are way up there and everyone has their own little screen. Not really the way I like to play, but I did roulette for a while. Did a little blackjack, but then I sat at the real tables and I played. And blackjack's blackjack. It's up and down. I know we went to the casino yesterday, Doyle. Was that yesterday? It was the day before. It was the day before. Yeah. We'll talk about that too. But other than that, my cousin was great. His girl was great, as they both always are. And it was really good to see them. We went to Long Island. I got to go back to Long Island. We took the 2-hour trip or so. And it was great to be back in Long Island. I was, my old stomping grounds, driving around, just looking at things and buildings. And I was like, damn, bro, I haven't been here in a long fucking time. And you know what? New York, when you go back there, and I go back and I look, and I'm just like, yeah, everything is just so mundane and fucking dark and just like old. Like, that's the vibe I got from it. I mean, I definitely miss some of it, and I like it, especially some of the food and some of the people. But overall, things are just kind of just like blah. And, I was there in the dead of winter. Like, summer in Long Island is dope, too. And you get the change of season. That's one thing you don't get here. You kind of get, it's really hot, and then it cools down. You don't get, like, the full experience. So, Metropolitan Monday. So,
you want to see what's going on?
So, but here's the thing. So the snow was going to come. Like, my cousin's like, yo, the storm, he keeps telling me, he's laughing. He goes, we haven't had a storm like this in fucking 10 to 12 years. He goes, the one time you decide to fly up here or down here or up here, I'm sorry, we're going to have this crazy snowstorm. And I'm like, dude, all right. I was all for it though. I'm like, I'm here for the experience, man. Let's just get snowed in. Let's see what's up. Like, we went to the store, we racked up on some food or whatever. And, my cousin let me open. You know me, I like my red wine. That's the only thing I drink now. I try not to drink it to excess. And my cousin used to be involved in very high-end restaurants. He was a waiter for years at like Michelin star restaurants, like big boy shit. And his good friend is in the wine industry, like big time. And he had a few bottles of red wine in there. I apparently was drinking like big boy wine. Like, he just had it in the racks. He didn't care. He let me drink it, but it was like expensive, aged, good shit. My Cabernet Sauvignon that I like.
Yeah, you're beginning to be a wine connoisseur, right?
I wouldn't say a connoisseur. I would say I kind of know what I like. I know a little bit about it. I just like red wine, man. Just a good red wine of some sort, whether it's a Merlot or the Cabernet. Like, I like it, man. Just a few glasses, it relaxes me. There's supposedly some health benefits to it. I don't know if it's 1,000% true, but I mean, Mikey's gonna go with that. And so I had a great week there. I don't mean to carry on. There's nothing really extravagant that happened. It was just an important kind of getaway for me that came at the right time. And realistically, here's the real deal. The real deal is you got to be grateful that you have people in your life that when you're kind of down and out are willing to listen to you or willing to help you. Like, my cousin could have easily said, bro, I got a lot going on. I can't really have you at the house. Like, he was so open and welcoming, and he's been on the phone with me ever since, every day. We talk every day now. And, and this is my first cousin. This is my older cousin by 3 years. We grew up, we're fucking brothers. We're not just like, in my family, like the first cousins, we're brothers and sisters. We're not like, just like, oh, that's my cousin. And, people are close with their cousins, but like, I'm close with my cousins, especially Keith. So it was really good. And he's living in a way that, he doesn't work a 9 to 5. His girl works and she does her thing in the medical field. And he kind of just is finding different ways to, generate income. And it's really cash flow based on real estate and real estate investments and Airbnb specifically. He's got investment properties out in Arizona and shit like that. Like, it's dope. And this new place that he got, which is like 45 minutes from his house where he is now, dude, it's so sick. And what he's going to do with the Airbnb, there's a whole basement part of it, easy game room. I'm talking about the illest game room you could ever make. The way it's already set up, like, he's getting a bunch of arcades, he's getting the basketball shoot, like real shit. And then, bro, you could bank on that. and then that shit is gonna make you fucking pay your mortgage on the main house. Like, you know, these are things that made me think of, you know, all the money that I've invested last year and in certain ways wasted on dumb shit. I'm just like, bro. See, my cousin's, he does well for himself. He's got money in the bank. He's doing great, but he's way more of a laid back, humble person. He doesn't give a fuck about Gucci and Rolexes and driving a nice car. He could do whatever he wants. It's just not where he is. And my problem in my life has always been outrunning my tastes. I've always been that way.
Flash?
Huh? Oh yeah, from Scarface. That chicas, that champagne. I know. Listen. That's me, bro. I've been that way since a little kid. My mother, my whole life, God bless her soul, always told me, Michael, you better marry a very rich woman. And I'm like, yo, I feel you. But like, and so, but what I learned a lot more, especially this year, I learned a lot more about, more on the big boy money side of things and how to handle that. You don't want to be rich, Doyle. You want to be wealthy. And there's a difference, you know what I'm saying? And the way you get there with the consistent cash flow situation, I mean, I'm not making this a financial show either because I'm not your financial advisor. And I wouldn't listen to me on finances realistically. I've done okay, but I've also made questionable decisions. If anything, the half Irish side of me, we found out I'm 50% Irish, right? It saved me a lot. The luck of the Irish has saved me a lot in my life. So the point of the story is I had a great time with my cousins. It was just a long enough trip where I didn't overstay my welcome. And the snow came. Anyway, we'll talk about the snow. I haven't seen snow in a long time. And this was 2 feet of fucking snow, bro. We're talking about big boy snow, but it was beautiful. I love the calming effect of the snow. My cousin did just get a new puppy. What kind of dog was that, Doyle? I showed to you. It was what are those? The poodle, but it's like an Irish poodle. I don't know what it is. They don't want to have kids, right? That's their thing. So they're both locked in as a couple. They're like, we're not having kids. And his girl has wanted a dog for like 5 years. So Keith went and podied up the money. It wasn't cheap and got a good dog, And they're like, this is our kid. And like, that's it. But I'm like, dude, this dog is like, it gets, it's a thing. It's a lot. It's like, every time it sees me, because I'm basically the new face in the house and it's 3 months old. It just pisses as soon as it sees me. You know what I mean? Like, it happened every single time, and I started to feel bad. And, like, they would clean it up.
What did you do to it?
No, nothing. What do you mean, what did I do to it? It would just run up to me and jump on me and then piss on me. It didn't piss on me. It got pissed on the floor, and I wouldn't have cared if it pissed on me. I just felt bad that, like, damn it, like, I got to be careful walking around the house. If the dog sees me for the first time that day or the first time in a few hours, it gets nuts. It's a puppy.
So you couldn't even pet it?
Well, no. And then the other thing was it wouldn't leave me alone. Like, it would just jump on me and just try to bite me. It was because it's teething. And then I would get it under control, and it would be on my lap, and then it would chill. And I'm just saying it's a thing. It's definitely a thing you adopt into your life, and it's like it changes it. And I get the idea, though. It's companionship. It hangs out around. I get it. But it was funny to watch it outside in the snow. Like, they went outside and crazy with the snow. They were like fucking with the snow blower and shit, and I'm just like in my bed upstairs, like, yo, this is crazy. But I slept so good. That up north cold weather, to put the heat on in the house, like I just slept really good those 4 or 5 days. The way home, my flight was like 5. I think I took off at 5, but it landed at like 8:30 or 9. It was a longer flight. There was no stops, but it was longer. I don't know if it has to do with the speed or the wind or whatever the fuck, or the route. But this flight on the way home was packed, bro. I'm talking about not one seat, which is, I guess, normal for planes. That's how it works. But bro, my boarding pass was like, Southwest does it by like A, B, C. I don't know if they have a D, but I was like C. So I was one of the last people to get on the plane. And I was like, bro, I really don't want to get on this fucking plane and like sit in the middle seat. Like, the reason I don't even fly is it's not because I feel like the plane is going to fucking crash and we're all going to die. I just don't like being in an airplane confined to a fucking small seat. I can't really get up and move around.
But that was 14 people.
And I'm I'm next to people that I don't know. 14 people, Doyle, was when I flew there. When we're talking about going home, it's 188 people. It's full flight. There's not one seat at all, 0. And I'm like, damn, bro. And so, like, I get on the plane, and, bro, the two ladies that are in front of me, and like I said, I'm literally I'm like the last person to get on this plane, and I walk on, and I'm like, I see down every aisle pretty much. There's a couple of sprinkled like nobody sitting here, but I'm like, but I see at the very back of the plane in the back right corner, nobody has sat in those last 3 seats because I think they're smaller too. I'm talking about the last row of seats before they're in the very back of the plane. And I was like, please, because there were still like 15 people in front of me. I'm like, please, let me just get, that way I can get my window seat. And maybe, I don't know, I'm like, are the stewardesses, do they sit there? Like, oh, excuse me, flight attendant. You don't want to say stewardess because then it's a derogatory or a negative term now, I think, like for women flight. Yeah. Anyway, I thought they sat there. Anyway, the lady in front of me, old lady, she had a cat, you know, her emotional animal, and it was in a fucking cage, and it's like hidden. I'm like, if I have to sit next to cat lady for 3.5 hours, I'm going to be pretty pissed off. And I'll be honest with you. At this point, technically the girlfriend is supposed to be picking me up from the airport. That was kind of the deal. Like, I fly back. I've spent some time away from you. And once again, I'm not trying to bring it all back to the relationship thing. But this is real. This is part of also my anxiousness of the flight. Like, I still have this unknown that I'm going back to. I spent some days. Like, the point of all this was to get away, but come back, new headset, new mindset, kind of do my thing. Anyway, I get in that last seat because the cat lady and her friend sat right before the end. I get into the very last seat. I sit in the corner, and these seats are smaller. I know they are, but I'm a fucking little dude. I'm a little framed fucking guy. I get in there, window seat, and then the last 2 people to get on is like a mother and her child, and the kid was like maybe 2. She was a small little girl. She was very cute, and the mother was a young mother. She was my age, right? And so the little girl sat in the middle, and then the mother sat there. And this girl was, I mean, she was the cutest thing, bro. Like, I'm not even a kid person, but like this girl, she had me. Like, I was like, this little girl's awesome. And I got lucky is what I'm trying to say because the mom was super cool. The kid was well behaved. And then I was watching the playoff game on my phone. You know, it was Sunday night, bro. You know what I'm saying? I was watching the playoffs right before, you know, for who's going to the Super Bowl. And I was watching the game on my phone. I tried to ask for some wine. No wine. They're like, no, we don't serve alcohol on these flights. I'm like, okay, I just sound like a psychopath now. I'm like, they're like giving away peanuts and water. I'm like, you got wine? So anyway, I took my flight home. Unfortunately, the girlfriend wasn't able to pick me up at the airport, and I had to Uber back home.
Uber Black?
Yep, because you know what? And then, you know, the only reason I even bring that up is the Uber Black, again, got me for like $56. And the reason I chose black, I was willing to do the other one, but the black was the only one that was available now, of course, right? Every other one was like an hour. One of them was like 48 minutes. And I'm like, bro, I just want to get the fuck home at this point. I'm kind of like, I'm supposed to relieve my stress with this trip, come home, feel better. I'm like, I'm already getting stressed out again. So I got the Uber Black. I went home. I took the L. I got home and everything was cool. So anyway, that was my Connecticut trip. I wish I could say something extravagant happened. I only even talked about it just because it was a follow-up. We left a week in between here where we didn't have the show. And kind of came home with a different mindset, got things in different priority, which I needed to do. And I'm definitely there, and I feel better. And thank God for my family and friends. Even you, Doyle. I appreciate you. You've come over a bunch of times. We even went to the casino the other day.
We went to Winter Park.
Oh yeah. I took. I got to take somebody to dinner, right? If I don't got the girl around to take there, I got to take somebody. So you're my secondary. We went to my little spot that I like, over in the old Winter Park area, and you got some fancy. We got flatbread, but you got roasted duck flatbread, and some kind of weird drink that I don't know what you got there. You got some kind of weird drink. So, yeah. So, I took you on a date, Doyle. That's what it was. I took you on a date. I'm sorry. Well, whatever.
We saw McLaren there.
Yeah, we saw the McLaren. Yeah, we saw a lot of... It's Winter Park, Doyle. It's basically Beverly Hills of Central Florida. That's why I go there all the time. I love that area. That strip is I love it. And, yeah, we had a good time. We had a good night that night. And then the next time, you came over the next day or the day before yesterday, and... you were supposed to come over and help me sort through some things. We're going to liquidate some comics and maybe some figures that I want to get rid of. And, you came over and I go, change your plans. We're going to the casino. And we went and took the 1.5-hour drive and drove to fucking Tampa. And Doyle never had been to that. You never been there, have you?
No.
Oh, okay. It was a pretty nice place, right? That was sick. We ate at the Hard Rock Cafe. Very nice. Very nice lunch. And then you watched me play blackjack for an hour or two, something like that. And I was winning. I won a few $100s, which was great. And then I gave you my couple $100 chips to put in your pocket to protect myself. I said, if I get down to those chips, we're leaving. And I made you put a $20 bill in the slot machine, and it was a $5 bet minimal, and you just hit that button 4 times, and you were out. And I said, that's it, Doyle, you're done. And you took the L. You just threw a $20 bill in the garbage. But you could have won. I mean, you never know.
How much did you win?
I ended up with like $240 profit that day. I only put down $65 in cash, but I was also including paying for lunch too. And lunch was like $60, $70 there for me and you. So I deducted that from my winnings, and I still walked out of there with a couple $225, which is not bad. I mean, it was packed. Well, it was fucking Saturday. And but I still got to my blackjack tables pretty good with, I like, you saw me now. I like to play alone. I don't like to sit with other people. And I did pretty well on blackjack. It was fun. All right, so what are we all right, let's just do this before we get into the topics now, because I'm ranted enough about useless things. People probably tuned out. Let's talking about gambling, right? It's always good. We'll do the Pokemon thing. I guess I will attempt. And even though I'm seeing these cards, I don't know what they are. I know we don't need this. I'm supposed to shuffle them. Is this what I do? I don't know. Okay. So we're gonna. Okay. Am I shuffling them the right way? I don't fucking know. I just shuffled them again. I think somebody tried to call you out last time and say that you fucked with the packs. Once again, Doyle bought a 25th anniversary box set of Pokemon cards, and every week we open one pack. And my thing is, Pokemon is a gambling ring, and it's taking your money, and everyone's just taking L's. And I'm here to prove it right. And you are an avid Pokemon fan, and the people seem to be along for the ride. And last week last time we were on the podcast, we did get a good card, right?
Yeah.
That's a $50, $60 card or whatever. Let's see what we get this week. Tell the people, Doyle.
Professor Research. All right, let's see.
Okay.
All right.
Who's this? No.
Lugia. It's all right.
All right.
Yeah,
last one?
Yeah. Mew. Yeah, we already got it, though.
Okay. All right. So
we got another one.
So once again, we took the L.
$7.
Okay. Well, and once again, this is why I try to teach the children.
Which one's better, going to a casino or buying Pokemon cards?
I mean, it's essentially, I don't know what the odds are. I told you this. Look, at least in blackjack, there's some skill involved, right? It's still the luck of the draw, but I can make a decision if I get a 10, if I got 2 5s in front of me, I could at least say hit me, because I got to get higher than the guy that's got, he's got to get 17 or better, whatever. Yeah. So I would say, yeah, the Pokemon is still kind of a gambling situation that you may want to stay away from. People are probably losing their homes. I've been kind of pushing you lately to liquidate your collection.
Oh.
I've been kind of on some shit lately, Doyle. I want to see you make some big moves. It would be the biggest move you ever made in your life. You're a hardworking kid. You've been at the same job for 10, 11 years, and you go to work 40 hours a week, and that's all well and good. I guarantee you, without knowing your personal finances, you have more money in that one binder of Pokemon cards than you probably have saved money-wise. I would say so, right? So, I know you love it, but I don't know, is there a bubble going on? Are we at the peak? You told me prices in some ways are starting to go down a little, and I would say comfortably, without me knowing anything about Pokemon, that binder's worth around $30,000. Am I off?
I have to do inventory check.
What do you think? Give me a range.
It's probably more than 15.
Okay, so we're in we'll call it early 20, maybe 20 grand, 22 grand in there. If you sold it appropriately or you sold it in a bulk deal.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that's a binder sitting in your room. You can make moves with that. You know what I mean? You might be able to pay off your car, so that's not a thing. You might be able to invest in some real estate or... listen, man, the investment game's a hard game, and you can't always, it's maybe a good little thing to have on the side in case. But what if the bottom falls out of it? What if that 15 to 20K goes down to 6K and you're like, I could have got 20K. But you're passionate about it still, and you also have a bunch of other shit. You're the trinket king. You have every trinket in the world in that fucking room. If we lived in Los Angeles and had an earthquake in there, you'd have a problem. We don't have earthquakes here in Central Florida, right? There's no, I don't think so.
Okay, sinkholes.
Oh my God, and remember my other house, that sinkhole fucking, that's it. That's sinkhole central. That place is literally built on a swamp. That whole development. I mean, the whole state is a goddamn swamp, but specifically, and sinkholes are real. You just might be chilling, and all of a sudden, there's a fucking 30-foot radius circle that just falls into the middle of the earth. So, if your collection had to be in the middle of the sinkhole, you call the insurance company, but they're gonna say, I don't know what to tell you.
What about if I saw the Pokemon cards go to the casino?
I would advise you to do that. So this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna take your Pokemon binder in your room, right? You can comfortably get $20,000 for it, right? You're going to get $20,000 cash from it, right? From Joe Schmo is going to give it to you. And then, we're going to take a trip down to the casino, and you're going to put $20,000 on black. We're just going to do roulette. You're going to go 20 G's, spin the wheel, and you might have 40 G's, or we're going home. But it didn't cost you, though, Doyle, right? This is the devil talking to you. It didn't cost you, though, Doyle. You already have the Pokemon cards. Just sell them and we could double your money.
Well, one of my boys was telling me about the prop bets in Super Bowl.
There you go. So this is what you do. Same scenario. You liquidate the Pokemon. You take the cash. You got 20 grand, bro. You put it on heads or tails at the Super Bowl flip. Heads, boom. Two-face shit, bang. You got 40 grand, or you go to sleep that night. You just instantly just go to bed. Just tuck yourself in, have yourself a warm glass of milk, whatever. You're done. And you act like it didn't happen. Or you can have 40 G's. And then you take that 40 G's and then you do it again. We're risking it, but it may work for you, Doyle. Now, if you do this and you lose, I don't want to hear nothing. I'm not liable for you. I'm not responsible. It was simply a friendly suggestion. Because you were, at the casino, you're like, oh, just go ahead, Mike. Go, just 5,000, put 10,000. Yeah, okay, bro. Okay.
No one would stop you, too. Right?
No, and that's the problem. Well, I've done it. That's the problem. I haven't done 10,000, but I've done some money. And remember that one blackjack hand? I gave five $100 bills out of my pocket. She counted them. She gave me 5 $100 chips. I took 5 $100 chips. I put it on a thing. She puts a card out, card out. I say stay. She flips a thing. She's 1 point higher. She scoops my 500. And we go home. That's happened. But that's gambling. That 5 could have been 1,000. And that 1,000, I take it up to the counter, boom, give me the 1,000, then you go home and then you're feeling good. And people work all week for $500, right? I mean, that's a real, it's like, it's gambling. There's no other way to put it. Anyway, give me some topics. We get out of the weeds here. I know we've been rambling this whole episode, but we do have some topic suggestions.
We're gambling?
No, we're not promoting gambling. These topic suggestions are from last week, by the way. Appreciate people sending them in. I know we didn't do the show last week, but we're here now. Go ahead, dog.
All right, so we got Lyric, Benny the Butchers, and J. Cole's new song.
I haven't heard it. I know Benny put out a new project. I will say on that topic real quick, because I'm Mr. Griselda. Everyone knows me. I love West Side Gun. That's my homie. West Side Gun came back, bro. He was out. He had COVID again. And he was on some shit where, I don't know if he was on his deathbed or he was really sick, but, almost 2 months ago or something, he put up a story post, of his, medical report, and he's pray for me, all this shit. And then he just went silent for, 40 days, whatever it was. And he just put up a post, I think 2-3 days ago, him in front of his Maybach truck or whatever, which we saw a Maybach truck on the way home from the casino. That was cool. That was dope, the black one. The guy was wearing a nice presidential Rolex in there. I respect that guy. Whoever that guy is, he seemed to be in the Middle Eastern gentleman. He looked like he was getting money. But anyway, West Side Gun came back. I don't know. I don't know if it was a publicity thing and he's got a new project dropping. He doesn't really need to do that. But I'm glad to see he's back. I do definitely fuck with Griselda. I love their entire movement. I love their merch. I like the way they move. I like their music. I like everything they do. The art, everything is dope. And Benny the Butcher putting out some new shit. I didn't hear it with J. Cole. I know I get a lot of flack from people because I'm not as high on J. Cole as people want me to be. I just kind of feel like he's a good rapper, but he's a good rapper in a climate of people that are shitty rappers, so he looks better than he is. And that's always been my stance on, because when you, especially a few years ago, like before this kind of more or less resurgence of underground, whether it's Griselda or somebody like Crime Apple or Willie the Kid, or there's a few dudes that I fuck with, Daniel's son. There's a few dudes who can really, really rap, that I just feel like, well, they should be as, like, J. Cole's like popular as fuck, and I'm like, he doesn't even rap better than some of the dudes that are underground, and I hate the idea that, like, he gets the recognition for that when there's other dudes out here. But then, there's other factors that go into how popular you are in songwriting and song making. So to answer that question in short, I have not heard it. I'm sure it's dope. I've never really heard a whack Benny the Butcher track, and I'm sure J. Cole rapped really good, which is fine, and I'll check it out. I'm not against it. I'm just like, I don't know. But one thing I will say, so I was watching last night. I don't often watch Drink Champs with Noriega. I don't often watch it because, and I said this before on the show. I love Noriega. Like, I love Component Noriega, Queensbridge, the whole movement. I was there my whole life. It was a big part of my life. I like the fact that he has a show. Just from, I don't want to overstate this, but me critically looking at it as somebody that does podcasts, and I'm not fucking Joe Rogan, and I'm not even Noriega in the podcast space. Our show is a humble little show that we do. It's just that, like, little things about the way that their setup is and the drinking thing and, like, all the bottles and how the microphones are away from everybody, and it's like they just turn up the gain super high on the mics to pick up the voices. And then, like, Noriega's sometimes, like, his interview styling is like, he's not the greatest at interviewing. Like, he'll like randomly talk about something in the middle of a question and then go completely off topic and then not let the other guy talk. And this ain't saying that I'm fucking Barbara Walters here in my interviewing skills. I'm just saying a lot of what he does is based on his relationship with those rappers and shit already, which is fine. I say all that to say every once in a while there are some undeniable people on there that I got to check out. One of them being he just had Havoc and Styles P on. Two New York fucking legends, and they actually recently put out a project together called, what the hell's the name of it? Something Manor. I forget the name of it. Murder Manor or something Manor. And I was watching the interview with them, which was cool, and, like, Havoc is, like, it's so funny to watch these guys all these years later. Like, Styles P, we've seen a little bit more because he's active online, and he did the Dipset Locks battle, and, he's kind of around more. Havoc is still just like Havoc, kind of laid back. They talked about everything. It was pretty dope. But what I was going to say was, as far as music, so Noriega was saying, I got to be honest, I checked out the project, and I was going to be real with you. I was expecting it to be kind of trash because I thought you guys were just catching a check. He's like, I thought you guys were just going to get some money and move on. And, like, that was it. And, like, Styles P was pissed. He's like, bro. He's like, you really think? He's like, I'm fucking Styles P. This is Havoc, one of the greatest. By the way, Havoc is one of the illest producers of all time, and no one gives him credit for it. Like, you don't realize Havoc has made some of the illest beats out there. And, you know him from Mobb Deep, but you don't really realize he's making a lot of those beats are his. And anyway, right in that moment, when Nori said he was surprised and shit, because I knew the project had dropped, but I didn't check it out. I just paused it. And, dude, last night, man, I was just vibing. I was drinking a glass of wine. Bro, I bumped the whole shit. I was like, whoa. Like, this shit is dope. Like, you should listen to it, Doyle. It's like that New York shit. Like, you could tell the style of production from Havoc, and Styles is killing it. Havoc's on the album, lyrically on the album as well. And I really enjoyed it. So, shout out to them for that. That album is dope. That project is dope. I think they're going to make something else, too.
I'm going to say Kodak Black.
Kodak Black?
You got Super Gremlins.
Yeah, there's something going on with that gremlin thing. The fucking chain out of something, I don't know what happened. Like, he has some kind of gremlin chain, and the dude from New York that tracks NYC dude, you got this motherfucker. There's something, I don't know, somebody created, like, there's a guy that sells custom hats out there, or like, there's a group of niche, high-end, like fitted hats that they put the patches on and they go for a lot of money and they're like popular. I know my boy Lord Fubu, I actually know him. I knew him when he was like starting out with this shit, and then like Wiz Khalifa started wearing his shit and like whatever. Apparently some other dude had like the design, which was a gremlin, like, from the Gremlins movie, wearing one of his hats, and then that Trax guy made a piece of jewelry for it, but he let Kodak Black buy it instead of the guy that does the hats that commissioned the piece originally. So like Kodak Black's running around wearing this thing, and then this dude wants to sue him and say like, that's my fucking logo, like I copyrighted that shit. Like, I don't know. I'm getting off topic, but it was funny. And yes, don't mention Kodak Black in the same lyrical terms as Styles P, please. That's ignorant of you, Doyle. I know you're a mumble rap guy and that's your thing, but all right, give me another topic. We kind of got off topic there a little bit, but it was music based, so give me some slack.
All right, so we got the Cobra Kai Dojo. Okay. Tom Brady retirements.
Oh, good old TB12. His retirement was a little weird, right? I mean, first of all, all right, let's just go through the thing here. Tom Brady's the greatest NFL player to ever live, right? You don't think, like, you're not going to say some stupid shit, right, Doyle? Name somebody better. And I don't even mean, you notice I said NFL player. I didn't just say quarterback. He's the greatest NFL player to ever live. The most accomplished at the hardest position.
What about Joe Montana?
Right. What about Joe Montana? How many rings Joey got? I love Joe Montana.
And he got 3. But he never won.
Tom could wear his 3 rings on his pinky toes and still have more for his hand. Like, Tom's got more fucking rings. He got 7 rings, bro.
He never lost, though.
Well, that's the other thing. Isn't it harder to make it to the Super Bowl anyway? Even just making it to the fucking Super Bowl that many times. How many times did Brady lose the Super Bowl? 3 or 4? I forget now. Wasn't it 3? I don't know.
Oh, he has 4. Joe Montana.
No, Joe. Yeah, I was gonna say 3 sounded weird. I thought he had more. It doesn't matter. No. Get out of here, bro. Feel free to eat Doyle up in the comments with his Joe Montana is better than Tom Brady bullshit. And for me, it's funny, right? Usually I'm that guy, right? Because I like the retro shit. I'm like, no, fucking, of course Jordan's better than everyone. This, that. I'll always maintain that. Jordan, for sure, is the better basketball player / more accomplished / more culturally impactful.
Well, Tom Brady said in an interview, and Draymond Green and a few other people were there, that football's a harder sport than basketball.
Well, of course it is. How do you? Basketball is one of the easiest as far as in the pro sports, like physically on your body and shit, and like training and.
That's what he said.
Of course. Well, you don't agree with that, Doyle? You really think basketball is a hard sport? Baseball is also I don't want to say a pussy sport, but it's like the dude's chilling out in the outfield for fucking 45 minutes, not picking shit out of his fucking nose, not doing nothing. That happens, You make it $45 million a year. So, but no, Tom Brady, as a lifelong fucking Giants fan, at the end of the day, I mean, I'm giving the guy the respect he deserves, and for him to go to Tampa Bay and do it, like, that's a big deal. I think the way he retired was weird. Like, the rumors came out, then he denied the rumors, and then he kind of didn't deny the rumors, and then he made a statement about retiring. But the weird thing is he didn't mention the Patriots or Robert Kraft or Belichick at all, bro. And that kind of was like a fuck you. Like, even I gotta say, it's like, dude, 90% of your accolades are coming from New England. Like, you should go out of your way to show some respect. Now, I could be wrong, and he could have, in the meantime, since that, said some kind things or some words about New England. But I did think it was weird that I think he thanked the Bucks and all that stuff. Like, I get it because that's the team he's retiring from, but you got to say something about New England, bro. You gotta go fucking, I owe a lot to Bill and Mr. Kraft, and you got to do all that. And the thing about Tom is an ultra super respectful. He does things the right way. He reminds me in ways of like Derek Jeter, Jeter was just a class act all the way through, always said the right thing, never got himself in trouble, and like he knows what's right. Like, Tom has to know that, bro. You should be talking about New England. And like I said, maybe in between the last couple of weeks he said something. I don't know. I know he retired, a week or so ago, officially.
Well, he didn't really talk about the Patriots so much.
That's at all. I don't even think he mentioned them really. I don't think he mentioned New England. I think he just put out that little tweet or that little Instagram caption. And if I'm not mistaken, it was kind of more or less like, yeah, thanks to the Bucks, and I had a great career, but it's time for me to step away and do stuff with my family. By the way, like, he played at that level all those years. Like, dude, people don't realize, and even I don't realize it to the T, but I get it. That whole preparation of just getting ready for an NFL season, bro, even at his level, it's not just like he gets to show up game one and just go play. Like, that's a lot of work, bro. And let's be honest, bro. You got a few $100 million in the bank yourself, and then your wife's got even more money than you, and you got some kids. It's like, why waste your life away? You're approaching 50 years old. Like, get your shit together, bro, and just chill with your family. Like, who cares? There's the glitz and the glamour and stuff, and I know it's shit that he's done. He's gonna have to adjust just like anyone else. But you know, we should all be in that blessed to be in the position he's in to have that problem. So, yeah, I mean, good for him though. Good for Tom Brady. He's the greatest NFL player of all time. He's certainly the greatest quarterback of all time. I don't really see how you would debate that any other way.
Well, now it's the new generation of quarterbacks.
Oh, yeah. You love your boy. You love Patrick Mahomes. I know you. And we also know you have a man crush on, what's your boy's name? Jimmy Garoppolo. You like, yeah, we found that out last episode that Doyle has a man crush. Bro, I'm not judging you, dog. You're still my boy. It's all good. Yeah, so, make sure you hit up your boy Jimmy Grops and let him know what's going on. And Patrick Mahomes, hey, Patrick Mahomes is cool. He's got a Super Bowl ring, right? Like, what I mean? I feel you. You got to get 6 more. You got to do other accomplishments. The staying power of Tom Brady at 45 is just, that's what's impressive. And that's why I give LeBron credit as well. Being 98% of his career being absolutely healthy through all that shit, going to the finals that many times, you know what I mean? It's impressive for sure. I think there's been advancements in health and all this shit. Oh, and speaking of which, I made a decision on February 10th, which is coming up in a few days. I'm going blackout mode. I'm going full back to exercise, and I'm going on the carnivore diet. I know you can figure it out, Doyle, but are you aware of the carnivore diet? I'm only going to eat meat. I'm going full wolf mode. Maybe that's why the wolf presented itself here today. It manifested itself. I'm going full meat, pause. That's it. I'm just going to go to like Publix and get like 2 pounds of fucking roast beef, boar's head. Just give it to me and I'm just going to eat it like it's candy. And I'll tell you what, coupling that with some exercise, and I don't mean some exercise, I'm going 7 days a week, going back to walk around the lake in the morning, coming back doing my Joe Rogan kettlebells, and every day. No days off. I'm going to do it till March 10th. So I'm going 10th to the 10th. And I'm excited about it, bro, because I know, last time I did the carnivore diet, bro, it was a game changer for me. I just didn't stay on it. The cool thing about it was, though, I would eat and I wouldn't get that bloated, nasty, I ate too many carbs, lethargic, I got the itis, I got to go lay down for 3 hours. I just felt great. I felt satisfied hunger-wise, but I had all the energy in the world. I know a lot of people say that it fucks your stomach up when your body is only processing meat for the first few days or a week or whatever. My stomach can handle it. I've done it before. It's fine. I'm just going to be really disciplined on it. And I'm in this kind of new zone, this new mode. And I got other things in the work, in the fire, business-wise and shit. So, like, I definitely got back on my game. And it feels great to do all that. Once again, this whole thing is about making sure that I'm doing what's best for me. And then let the rest fall into place. If you do it the opposite way and you go too hard, not just girlfriends and relationships, but even family, friends, or whatever, you get too wrapped up in other people's lives and trying to help people or not worry about yourself, you fall off a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And I'm excited. So you can hold me accountable, Doyle. I'm telling you right now, if I tell you I'm waking up in the morning, I'm doing 4 laps around there at the fucking lake and some workouts and only eating meat. If you catch me eating a cheeseburger and I got the bun on it, you got to say, bro, what are you doing with it? Not supposed to be Charlie Carbs. You got to be fucking Mikey Meat.
Well, you got amenities around here.
I got amenities, yeah. Chilling to infinity with mad amenities. It's my old rap lyric, bro. I used to like that one. I knew you liked that one because you like the word amenities. Okay. I guess give me another topic here. I'm lost in the sauce right now. I have no idea how long we've been going on the podcast. Usually I do a good time and I lost track. So we might as well finish out the topics we got, or you could pick one.
All right, we got September 28th.
That's their name?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you a fan of old DOS games? Those.
Doyle, I know you're of Hispanic ascent, and
Those.
that is the way you would spell DOS. It's DOS. Are you familiar with the operating system DOS from 80s and 90s, Doyle?
Maybe he wants you to pick those games. So two names.
He's talking about DOS, the operating system. Like, you used to be able to play fucking Doom. There was mad games. You had Wolfenstein. I do like DOS. It's not DOS.
If you're a fan of two of those games.
It's DOS. It's not DOS. It doesn't mean two. It just means the operating system. Like Windows. There was Linux, Windows, there was DOS. Remember MS?
He put it in caps, so he's only referring to those games.
No. Doyle. It's DOS, man. And the reason is it's always been in capitals. It's MS-DOS. I don't know why I'm saying it like Arnold Schwarzenegger. DOS. I feel like I don't know where that's why I'm saying it like that. But I see you're trying to raise my blood pressure, but Mikey's on some new shit, okay? And you're not going to do that, okay? I'm going to stay calm and say, yes, sir. I used to play DOS games. I don't know any specific that were like exclusive to DOS, but I certainly remember the operating system. I certainly remember being in camp when I was a young kid. It was like a daycare / camp shit that I was in, and they had a computer room. And one of the things through the itinerary of the day is we would go to the computer class and we would play games. Now, this is late 80s now. We're talking my young Mikey here playing like the ski slope game, and there was a baseball game on there that I remember. It was a DOS game. And then they upgraded. I think they got Microsoft computers as the 90s came, and we used to play Jezball. Remember Jezball, Doyle? Let me see if you're, because you're younger than me. Sometimes I forget you're younger than me. You're younger than me by like 7 years, bro, right? ¿Cuánto año tiene? 40? Oh, your birthday's coming up.
Oh.
Is it your 30th birthday?
Yeah.
Bro.
31, I think.
What do you mean you think, Doyle? You don't know how old you are?
I gotta check it out.
Okay. Well, your birthday's coming up. It's March 4th, right? Am I right? 4th? 3rd. I keep saying, yeah, okay, March 3rd. You don't know how old you're going to be. That's fucking great. Okay. Yeah.
My number, though.
Yeah, well, you're an idiot, Doyle. Okay, I'm trying to be nice to you recently and trying to turn over a new leaf on me. I'm not going to let this go. You don't know your own birthday. You're an idiot. You don't know how old you are. You know your birthday. You just don't know how old you are. I got you. It's because you're an alien and you were just dropped here and you forget. What was Jezball. So Jezball was a game in Microsoft. So like it would be like a little ball, right? And there'd be in the first stage, it would just be this ball, right? And it would be floating around in this like open area. And you used to have to try to close in the ball by clicking the mouse, and it would put out these bars that would go across and you had to get it into like a certain space, but without it like hitting the thing before it connected. And then as you would progress through the game, every level would just add more and more and more balls to it. So they'd be bouncing all around and you can't touch them. It got pretty difficult. Anyway, Jezball. Kind of a sketchy name. Always thought it was sketchy. I know you remember. All right, what about the OG, what was it called? Minesweeper? In Minesweeper. Remember that? I never understood how to play Minesweeper. It was just like, it looked like a bunch of tiles and you just clicked it and it turned over and there was like a smiley face or there was a bomb. I'm like, I don't really get it.
Maybe Snake.
Well, Snake, yeah. Snake was cool. But that was like on the Nokia phone, though. Snake, like the OG Snake, which was cool. Very primitive. And then computer. Remember the pinball game that used to come on the computer? What was it called? Like virtual pinball or some bullshit. I forget. Spaceball. Something pin. It was a pinball game that was on like all the Microsoft operating systems.
It was odd.
It was like intergalactic spaceball or something. I don't know. What do you got though? You have some kind of Google article going on today, or we don't have Google articles?
Let's see what we got. Hold on. Speaking of McLaren, we did get McLaren crashes in minutes, so he got out of the lot, sped up on the highway and crashed.
And this was in what state? Or was it in this country?
Damn, I think it was here.
How don't you know, bro? You got the article or what?
It came up.
Okay. But I mean, I need to know, what kind of McLaren was it? Was it a McLaren 720S? Was it the new Speedtail? I highly doubt it was a Speedtail.
All right, it was in
Austin, Texas. Let's see if I was right. I don't know. That would be awesome if I was right. Savannah, Georgia.
Let's see. Yeah, it was this one here. So this one was McLaren Lost Control, Orange Blossom Trail.
Oh, wait. Here? This is right here. This is 2 miles away from here. I see the McLarens all the time over here.
It went airborne.
Whoa, fucking... And OBT is a sketchy part of town, by the way, if anyone doesn't really understand. There are parts of OBT that is like hooker-ridden and some sketchy things going on. Like, for real. So what happened? Was he fucking hammered? I mean, what was he doing? He couldn't handle the McLaren?
He wasn't going that fast. It was... Or going excess of 60 miles an hour?
Yeah, I mean, that's around, like, that's still pretty fast for that road. You should... I think it's like a 45 mile.
Damage is estimated more than 325,000.
Yeah, well, he's fucked anyway. I mean, I don't understand what he did. But yeah, to fix one of those cars is like, you got to send it. Sometimes you got to send them back to the UK and do all kind of shit. But
he drove it off the lot. And then that
yeah. Well, that sucks. I mean, what do you do, bro? He's got to take the L. He fucked up, but he wasn't ready. He should have started with a little baby car before. Got something, I don't know. I know that's happened before. I've seen that. The funny one was, I think that happened to Tracy Morgan when he bought the new Bugatti. He bought the Veyron, and he literally, in the middle of New York City, he just pulled it off the lot, and some dude either rear-ended him or... But, he was still like, I don't care. I always liked what he used to talk about. He used to say, yo, be careful, little white girl, before I get you pregnant. The way he would say it. I don't even know why he was saying that. I just always loved that he said that. And you know what the thing was about it when his car got fucked up is because... he had just got all that money from the Walmart crash, which is an insane thing that happened to him. But he has such a second lease on life, and he's so grateful with life that he didn't even care. He was laughing about it. He was sitting in the car with his giant chain on, just saying, like, you know what, man? There's so many other problems in life and people and stuff. Yeah, my car was $2 million, and this guy just rear-ended me in 5 minutes after getting it. But you know what? Things could be worse. And what a great attitude to have, even at that level. You know what I mean? But yeah. So anyway, yeah, people get exotic, fancy cars. Jay Leno always talks about that, how a lot of these guys that get these cars think they're tough guys or they want to show off in front of people. And like, they'll meet up at the Cars and Coffee in the morning and then get out of the parking lot and slam on the gas to burn out to be cool and then just crash it across the street. Like, YouTube is littered with fucking videos of that. And speaking of Jay Leno, you can't talk about Jay Leno without talking about his F1 McLaren, which he talks about in every single episode of Jay Leno's Garage. He sneaks it in there in the funniest way. And the reason it's funny is he's not doing it to sneak it in there. He just literally is so passionate. And then he likes to let people know that he has that car. And he was on a podcast recently. I've seen him on a lot of podcasts recently, which is cool because I love Jay Leno. And he said, I also hate when he goes on these podcasts and he's trying to explain cars. And like, I'm a real car guy. Like, I know about cars. And like, how don't you not understand what a McLaren F1 is? Like, it's literally the most coveted car in the world. They only made 64 of them. And like, he's explaining, he goes, I paid $800,000 for this car in 1994, 95. I forget when he got it. And he goes, everybody thought I was crazy, this and that. You know what that car is worth today, Doyle? $20 million. One of them just sold for $23 or $24 million. So... yeah, good investment, Mr. Leno. Just imagine you just made that investment. Never mind that he's got another 200 cars and he's worth another $400 million. That's pretty solid. So shout out to Jay Leno. I mean, why not? He's the greatest. To me, he's the greatest car collector of all time. And shout out to Jay Leno's Garage, which I watch almost every day. Great show. All right, give me one more topic, Doyle. I think we're out of here on that. I don't know what it has to be. We got to be over an hour on the show. We got to be. It just has to be.
We got more topics, though.
Oh, my God. Give me one of them.
Superman comic. The first ever Superman comic, 8.5 graded, went for $3.15 mil.
Then what is that? The
Action Comics?
Yeah, Action Comics, right. I think that's the one on... Is that the one, like... I don't know why I remember this, but is that Superman, like, on the cover and there's like a taxi cab or something. He's like standing on the cab, or I don't know why I think of that.
Yeah, he's lifting up like a car.
Something, right? Yeah, and he's like making a muscle or some shit. I mean, dude, the comic book game is crazy. I mean, we got a bunch of comics behind you there that are graded, obviously nowhere, not even remotely close to the $3 million. But the comic book game is real, man, and people pay big money, and they're assets. You know what I mean? Like it's amazing to me. It's like I wonder where that's going. Like what collection that's going into. Like what is the guy's collector, like his room look like if he's able to afford a $3 million comic book? I mean, that's insane. Essentially something the size of this box is worth more than like a mega mansion that you can go look at. Like that's amazing. I mean, the watch game is like that too. There are certain watches, like, it's crazy. Like Floyd Mayweather with that fucking Jacob & Co. That thing's $20 million, bro. He's walking around with 20 mil on his wrist, bro. What are we... I mean, sometimes those numbers just boggle my mind, man. That's crazy. But that's sick, though, that sold for that. And what was the grade? It was an 8.5. That's fucking solid, right, for a comic that old?
Yeah.
I mean, there's no such thing as any of those the most key issue comics, right? Like Amazing Fantasy with Spider-Man, right? Like there's no Gem Mint 10 out there of that, right? It doesn't exist, right?
No.
There's not. Is there a 9 out there? Like, what's the highest grade Amazing Fantasy out there? I wonder what it is. Like, you think it's like a 7 maybe or something? I don't know. I feel like it's same thing with that Superman. Like I wonder what the highest grade, because I guess those would be, and what the first Batman too, right? Is worth a lot as well. First appearance of Batman. It's also in that time. Yeah, Detective Comics. Because that's around the same time frame, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know if you're going to be able to verify that, so don't worry about it.
What, Batman?
No. Just of whatever the highest grade of like Amazing Fantasy is out there. But because I know like the one that sold recently for like $300-400 grand was only like a 2.5, or wasn't there like a 0.5? I think one of my boys had one. It was a 0.5 and it sold for like 15 grand.
9.6.
A 9 point. I have the first appearance of Carnage.
3.6 mil.
Damn, 9.6. That's the one to get. And I bet you that's the only one out there. How many 9.6s can there be out there of that comic book? Now imagine you open that one up, Doyle, to read it. You would have fucked that up. Yeah.
Somebody did on YouTube.
They opened what? A graded Amazing Fantasy?
Opened my CGC Amazing Fantasy.
Yeah, but what was his grade? 0.1? I don't even know. All right, give me one more topic. Do we have one more topic there, Doyle?
One more?
Yeah, give me one more. We can get out of here.
All right, so we got a cardboard box. Went to a baby college, and it had $180,000 cash.
Okay, so, but Doyle, you got to give me context here. What are you talking about?
What do you mean?
I don't even know. My brain is going to explode. You're telling me
somebody donated that.
Somebody just randomly mailed a box with $180,000 cash to a college?
Yeah.
For what reason? Who was it addressed to? Why did they do it? Who is your daddy and what does he do?
They just donated.
I hate you, Doyle. I really do. In the deepest parts of my soul, I despise you as a person.
That's not bad. And it said it was unnoticed for months.
Now, here's the thing, Doyle. If you found that much money in like a box in a trash can in New York City or something.
College of New York? That was
yeah,
it?
It's definitely because it's a very New York thing. I would keep the fuck out of the money. All you people that find all this money and then you give it back and then the person gives you a little cut of it. Now, fuck all that. Now, a lot of times you got to be careful. If there was that much money in like a trash can in New York, like that's a drug deal. You got to be careful. You don't want to. The cartel might get you on that one. I mean, any sizable amount of money that's like in a shoebox that's in a trash can, randomly by fucking Canal Street, like you might want to be careful. There's somebody watching that trash can. They're just trying not to do a hand to hand. But just make no mistake. I want it to be very clear. If I found any amount of money that was large like that, I'm keeping it. And I'm just putting it in my shoebox in my house and I'm chilling. I'm not telling anybody about it.
It was a donation.
yeah, I guess somebody was just being nice, but I still don't understand the story, and it's kind of weird. It's kind of sketchy. But it's okay. We'll get out of there here on that. That's a great story to get out of here on. I don't know.
That was a good karma.
I guess so. I mean, I don't really understand. Is there anything you would like to tell the people before we get out of here, Doyle? This is your opportunity.
We're looking for swingers, right, for you?
No, we're not looking for swingers for me. So let's get that out there. Do not hit me up about your swinger inquiries. I do not want to know about it. But have fun on yourselves and be safe out there because it can get a little sketchy when you do that. But other than that, we're going to continue to do the show here. We may or may not have a new setup coming. I think inevitably we will have a new setup coming. There's more on that as maybe the next episode comes, and we'll talk about it a little bit more.
We might have some sales, right?
Yeah, we might. I don't know. I definitely got to get rid of some stuff here. Like I've been trying to, and I'm just got to put my foot on the gas and do it. So maybe we'll do some story sales. Maybe we'll do some podcast sales. That might not be bad. We could put it up and first come, first serve, figures and comics. I don't know. But keep a lookout for that. And until next time, peace.